Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today is the day we are getting the pergola finished. This is day 2 of the project. Yesterday, Jerry and Jackson were out here working, got a ton of the work done, which was fantastic. So today we are going to finish. I am going to be the carpenter's assistant and help get this done. Hopefully we might even get the fence stained today. We will see how the day goes. It is a lovely overcast day, so we're going to enjoy the cloud cover. It is supposed to rain like tonight, so if we can get the fence stained today, that would be amazing. But if not, we'll just have to wait until it kind of dries up. So let me give you kind of the overall big picture here in case you are new to this project. Jerry is working on right now drawing out the design for the very top of the pergola. So he is just simply tracing, and then he'll come back and cut these out. So there's a ton of these boards that he has to do. So that's what I'm going to help be his assistant on. So of course, here we are at the garden center, Creekside Nursery in Dallas, North Carolina. And we had this fence installed and those main posts back in, it was like late January, early February, we had these put in. And so the fence is more for a decorative kind of aesthetic look, and also kind of functional because we have our customers that, Jackson's being a sweet boy, he's waiting on me, but I told him to come on. So our customers, when they come and they park right up against this fence. And so it acts, not that we've ever had any kind of issue, but it does kind of give somewhere people to go to park. So we are going to stain this rather. It's called Black Alder from Sherwin-Williams. It is a stain, it's not a paint, but it's like a charcoal black. This is what we have, a bunch of our tables and everything is that black alder. So that is what we're gonna do with the fence. And then while they were here, we were like, you know what, go ahead and install those massive, those were 16 foot, I think they're 8x8s, 6x6s. Jerry, are those 6x6s? 6x6 by 16 feet tall. And so they are concreted in the ground. So the fence guys did that for us. And so yesterday, Jerry and Jackson came through and got the vast majority of the first rounds of boards put on the pergola. So this is just a really fun structure to bring some height and that structure to the shrub lot. And then of course, well, you can't really see it right now because all the ladders are in the way, but the signature garden and the fountain are dead center of the pergola. So it'll really like draw your eye straight to that fountain into the signature garden. Once we get done for the day, I'll show you the whole thing without the ladders in the way. So what the plan is for today is to go ahead and get the top boards put on the pergola. So this will bring, again, it is a structure, and to bring some shade to this shrub lot because the shrub lot is definitely a full sun spot. But we are grateful for the cloud cover today. We have a pergola up here on where the perennials and annuals are that we have mimicked the design after. So you can see with this pergola, basically it is going to be the same as the one down there. Obviously the shape is different. So what we're working on right now are the very top boards right here. I think Jerry said there's a board every 16 inches on center, I believe is what he told me. And so that's where the numerous cuts have to come into play and get that on there. But once we get done with the pergola, then we are going to stain it. So both the pergola and the barn need to get a fresh coat of stain. The barn is a pine barn. We sawed all of the lumber off of our property. My dad has a sawmill, so we were able to cut all those. So all of those boards are pine from the property. When we built the barn in 2000, I'm looking at the sign, what does it say? I never can remember. 15, we built the barn, and then we stained it like a red cedar type stain. So we're going to kind of move away from the red and go for more of a brown. We have a little swatch right here. So this is the color that it will be, both the pergola and the barn. And then we will eventually get this pergola stained as well. Honestly, it probably won't be until this fall that we do that. But this color is Lodge Brown from Sherwin-Williams. Again, it is a stain, but you can see how much more brown it is than like the red cedar. And clearly, you can see where it is worn, and it desperately needs to be restained. So that is the goal. Now, I am not even saying that we're going to do the barn today. I'm just saying that that is going to be the color of both the barn and the pergola, and then the fence will be the black alder. So basically the black and the brown. Let's see all the details. The pergola is roughly right now is 11 feet tall. So then you add on those boards, that'll add not quite another foot. So we're gonna go, it's gonna be under about 12 feet. The space, there's 4 different sections here, and those are 12 foot, I think roughly about 12 feet apart from one another. So he had to get 16-foot boards, and then of course you have to cut some. So we have 4 openings. The plan was, when we first thought of this idea, is that we were going to build flower boxes kind of on each post, or anyway in there, so you would have flower boxes on the top of the pergola. And then we started thinking about it, and we're like, okay, the maintenance on that would be like a nightmare because it is so tall. We've got shrubs everywhere right here, and we were like, I don't think we're going to do that. So then we're thinking about doing some sort of like massive hanging baskets on them. So we're still playing around with this idea on like how we're going to display flowers, but it will have flowers on it that will be for display, not necessarily for purchase, but for display. So if you got any ideas, I would love to hear from you. Of course, whatever goes up there will have irrigation on it, which will not be hard. Because we clearly have irrigation here on the shrub lot, so we can easily run irrigation through there and drip tubing down to the baskets or whatever it is that we do. So again, if you have some ideas, shoot them to me and let me know what you're thinking. So again, what we're gonna do right now is just, I'm gonna help Jerry get all of these top boards cut out, traced, cut out. He is using a jigsaw to do that. Really, it's just the fastest and the easiest way to do that. Let me show you. So there you go. So we have to do that to every end, of course. So each board has 2 cuts on it, keep it nice and uniform. So yes, that is what we are doing. So I'm gonna hop off, be his assistant, and I'll meet you back here in just a little bit. All right, my friends, so we got all of the top boards have been cut out and the boys are getting ready to begin installing them up top. So just as, because some of you like to know all the technical information, so what we did is, so you just have that first board that is your pattern. We laid it down and then traced on both sides. One side we made completely flush with the board, and then on the other side we had some left over because the boards were just a smidge bit too long. So that's what we just cut off. So Jerry had to do 2 cuts on every single board. And then what we did is from the very end, we came in 24 inches and drew a line, because that way we get all the boards all nice and lined up and that they're even. So there's a 24-inch, this is where we'll like staple it in, screw it in. And so from here, and then this will be the overhang. So that's what they're starting to do now, is to get that first board placed in the exact correct position. The boards will be 16 inches on center apart from each other. So they're going to get those first 2 boards put in, measure those so they just are exactly where they're supposed to be, and then they're going to create a jig, so that way they're not having to measure each and every single time between the boards. So they'll have a jig that's the perfect space, so they can just lay between the boards. They'll each have one. Lay the jig down and then just screw the boards as they go. It just saves a little bit of time, so you're not actually having to get the tape measure every single time and bring it out and do all that. Just trying to be a little bit more efficient. So it is coming along quite nicely. Of course, Jerry's phone's going off. His phone always goes off. But they are screwing them in, and as opposed to nailing. So getting that all screwed in. Jackson went ahead and laid a bunch of the boards up there on top, and so that way they can just pull them as they need them. And then we have the rest of them are sitting down here on the ground, so I can help feed the fellas the boards and all the things that they need. And of course, just having to go up and down the ladder a bit is the kind of cumbersome part. But yeah, so there was a total of, I think, 34 of the boards that are going to go across the top. But we are definitely not going to be staining the pergola today, because man, those boards are wet. I mean, you could literally see the moisture coming out of some of them. So you've got to let the wood completely dry before you stain it. Otherwise, the stain won't take. The wall here, the fence, is most definitely dry, so we don't have to worry about that. I think we should be able to get it stained today. Fingers crossed that we're able to. So the fellas are just going to go ahead and get these boards all screwed on, and we'll go on from there. My friends, we are done for today. Projects are complete. The cleanup is underway, but man, it feels good. I don't know, it's like 4:30 in the afternoon and we got it done. Jerry got the pergola all done. The fence is painted, so we're just cleaning all that up. But man, it's starting to look good. The vision is starting to come to fruition. That's the thing about us here at Creekside. You just gotta be patient. It will come, it will happen. You just gotta be patient. So the fence is all painted. While Jerry was finishing up and working on the pergola, I grabbed a paintbrush and did just this first section of the fence by hand. And man, let me tell you what, because the wood on these boards is super rough. So trying to get in all those little nooks and crannies with the paintbrush was challenging. It definitely took some time. The post and then the front boards were nice and smooth, so those were great and easy to do. And then once Jerry got done with the pergola and we had a little popsicle break, got cooled down a little bit, then went ahead and sprayed the rest, and it goes incredibly fast. Really, it was about 2 gallons. So 2 gallons did this, 3? Never mind, Jerry grabbed another one. So he said it was 3 gallons on this and got it done. We will obviously let it dry really nice, and then I'm sure there's gonna be a couple of little spots maybe where they didn't get down into the grain. Fence done, looks great, and of course you do both sides, so both sides have been done. Voila for that. Now with the pergola, minus the big boards, to kind of give you, here we go, there is the shot. Ta-da! So imagine that the pergola gets stained that nice lodge brown, get that nice color contrast. So then when you come through and you're walking, you can see the fountain is nice, dead center of you. It is a great entrance into the signature garden. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. There you go. Just lovely, absolutely lovely. And then of course, if we were to flip around, and then there you go. So it'll probably be definitely at least 1 week, if not 2 weeks, before we get this stained, because we've got to let those boards dry out really nice. We wanted to get the fence done today, especially because tonight we're supposed to get like a line of thunderstorms to come through, and we've had some nice couple of days of really dry weather, so it was perfect to get it done today. And yeah, so it is done. It's got to pick up a couple of these little boards right here, but there you go, my friends. She's done, and we are done for the day. If you notice, my first gardenia bloom of this season. Yes, gardenias are my absolute favorite. Saw as steady as she goes was blooming in the shrub lot, so I snitched a flower, and all day I've been like, oh, that smells good. I know it's not me, it's not Jenny, it's the flower. So it feels good to have this done. If you have ideas on how we can flowerize the pergola, let us know. As always, if you have found this fun, informative, and inspirational, we would love it if you would like and subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week.
Yes, please do that.
Good job, buddy.
Good job.
Good job, Cupcake. Sweet lips, sweet thing. Sugar lips, there you go. All right, any final words?
We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one. That's what he said. See you on the next one. Bye, friends.